Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Trips Don't Lie. My name is Akshay. I am based in Dubai, and we are traveling in the middle of a pandemic, and hence all the precautions. Today, we are going to the beautiful country of Turkey. We are on our way to Istanbul, and from there, we'll be flying into Cappadocia, then cover Izmir, Ephesus Pamukkale, and then come back to Istanbul for our final leg. Now, Turkey is opened up for tourism, but for those of you who want to travel to Turkey, there are a few things that you should be mindful of. Firstly, there is the HES code, which is issued by the Turkish government, that you need to be keeping a copy of your COVID negative PCR test and also e-visa copies if you're eligible. Indian passport holders can get an e-visa if they have a valid US visit visa or a residency from the Schengen countries, and you can apply it on the official website, link given in the description as well. We're traveling on Emirates. We're taking a direct flight to Istanbul, and then we have an onward connection to Nevşehir, which is one of the airports closest to Cappadocia on Turkish Airlines. So yeah, we're looking forward to getting out of the country after a very long time and give you guys updates once we land into Istanbul. Super smooth flight, great service by the Emirates crew. Social distancing followed very well, so it makes you feel all the more safe. By the way, this is a new Istanbul airport. It's called IST, Istanbul Havalimanı, and the code is IST. For those of you who have a domestic transfer, you'll just need to keep walking straight ahead. For us, we'll have to clear passport control and then re-enter the domestic terminal from level 1. So yeah, that was pretty smooth and quick, and we're just going to collect our baggage and exit and then re-enter again from level 1. Again, and we're back to the terrace, and I'm going to switch to Hindi क्योंकि मेरे आसपास बहुत लोग हैं जो इंग्लिश समझते हैं. अब ये एक नाम की ये कॉफ़ी प्लेस है यहाँ पे, वहाँ की कॉफ़ी मत लेना, इट्स ओवर प्राइस. एंड यहाँ पे बर्गर किंग है, वहाँ जाओ, एटलीस्ट इट्स अ ट्राइड एंड टेस्टेड ब्रांड and you get the right price and the right product. So we're on the domestic side, and we're just heading for our flight, which is to Nevşehir. It's a 1 hour 10-minute flight, and we're flying on Turkish Airlines. So there are two more carriers, Pegasus and Sun Express. And this is the Nevşehir terminal. It's a really small terminal, so yeah, that's about it. And now this is the shuttle bus. So basically we've taken a shuttle service which was pre-arranged with a hotel, and that will drop us to Göreme. So there are two options. One is Göreme and the other is Uchhisar. These are the two cities in Cappadocia where you can stay. But basis the reviews that we read on TripAdvisor, we realized that Göreme has more options within the city, and it's also closer to the other places of interest from a tourist point of view. So this is the road from Nevşehir airport to Göreme. It's okay lit, not the best lit, and it's a 2-lane road. So for those of you who want to self-drive, I'll say just be careful. Avoid self-driving at night times, because most places get really quiet and lonely after 6 p.m. here. So just be mindful of that. And also all the signboards are in Turkish, so you probably will have to get accustomed to that bit as well. Other than that, try and pre-arrange the shuttle with your hotel. That's a great cost-effective option. So yeah, coming to end of day 1, let's see what day 2 offers. Good morning, people. Welcome to day 2, and we are in Göreme, and this place is raining. It's a bit cold. I mean, bit is an understatement. It's quite freezing. It's raining, and we're just hoping for the weather to settle down before we can step out and explore the city. But like I said earlier, this architecture is so different. So very close to the main market is this place called Vineyard Cave Hotel, where we are staying. We found it on booking.com. It had excellent reviews and a rating of 9. And it belongs to this person called as Osman. It's his ancestral home, which is now converted into a hotel. Very warm and caring people, and very friendly as well. So this is definitely recommended. And even if not this, you should definitely stay in a cave hotel. We got like a suite. It was a very different experience to stay in, but quite a cozy one then. I'm a huge breakfast lover, so there's a fairly decent spread here. A lot of cold cuts, different kinds of cheese, different kinds of nuts, and of course eggs as well, and apple tea. So today we're doing a green tour. It takes you to 5 to 6 places marked on that map, and it costs you 60 euros for a private car and driver where 3 or 4 people can join. Or the other option is 70 euros, I think, in a group tour. Just the difference is that the group tour includes lunch and it includes, I think, entrance fees as well.
So this is my wife, and she's very conscious about why she's in the vlog. She doesn't know this vlog is going to become so famous, so popular, and with that, even she's going to become popular. Shimki, say hi to the camera. And that jacket that she's bought is of no use in such weather, but it's okay as long, like we said, as long as we're in the car, we enjoy the beauty outside.
This is the kind of weather in March in Cappadocia. It's outstanding, and I'm also in the middle of it. If you can see me, wow, it's snowing really badly, and I hope I don't fall sick. But then, who cares? We've reached Pamukkale Underground City, and we are going to be heading in the other direction now, and just follow that group there. That's where you see. That's the entrance to it, and we just stopped outside that to this place to buy gloves. So this is what they are. This is not for people with claustrophobia, and if you're anything above 5'6", you will have to bend a lot. And I wonder how people in those times lived in such places. So there's options for you to take a tour guide who will give you insights into the place and also walk you through it. But if you're not doing that, try and follow a group so that you don't lose your way out, because the arrow markers can be a little difficult to navigate if you do get lost somewhere. Finally seeing light at the end of the tunnel. It was a very nice experience to sort of explore something, walk like literally 3 floors, 3 levels down in that tiny space. It can get a bit hot inside, to be honest, so if you're wearing a couple of layers and jackets, I suggest remove them, and you may start feeling a bit claustrophobic and uneasy. So people who have claustrophobia, I'd say please avoid the place. But for rest of us who are not as scared of closed places, I think it's must a try. Well, the weather, I'm afraid, hasn't improved a bit. It's in fact gotten even worse. But we've managed to get to Ilhara Valley. Not really the point where he wanted to drop us, but we just sort of stopped by at one of these viewing points. And I'm just going to pan the camera to the Ilhara Valley. So all the groups also stop at this Bellissima restaurant. It's got a set menu. They have the lentil soup, they have the bread, then there's chicken casserole, there are other options as well like beef and stuff, and of course homemade fries. Just trying to get some warmth in this leg of the travel. I'm just trying to get some warmth wherever and whenever possible. Give you like a little overview of what things around me look like. So this like really reminds me of Mumbai, and but this is the Pigeon Valley here, and you can feed the pigeons. I think you can buy some grains for 2 lira and feed the pigeons as well. But just other than that, the view from here is outstanding, and especially to see those landscapes covered in snow. It's around 4 p.m.ish and finally the sun is out. It's giving a completely different look to Cappadocia, and this is where the green tour ends. We're back to the terrace of our cave hotel, and we're just going to spend the rest of our evening here sipping apple tea. So today we are starting with the red tour. It again takes us through 4 or 5 of these places, and today we are paying 40 euros because I think the time taken to cover this is way lesser than the green tour. There's also an option to do group tour, so you could check on that as well. I'm quite literally at Land's End, not the one in Bandra, the one in Cappadocia, and this is called as Love Valley, where you can again see the beautiful landscapes of Cappadocia. We had mild showers in the morning, a little bit of snow, but other than that, weather's holding up really well. So next up is this ceramics museum where everything is hand painted and handcrafted. Beautiful pieces, gifting pieces, but please negotiate well and also check for Gure music. Pasabala Giri Oren Giri. Giris means entrance, at least by now I've learned that. So this is the entrance to the Mushroom Valley. A lot of souvenirs that can be picked up, lamps, the hot air balloons, clothes, t-shirts, all of that stuff. But everything needs to be negotiated well, because obviously there is a price tag different for tourists. So just do that bit properly. Things we do for content. This is apparently it's called Mushroom Hills, and there are quite a few of them. And our guide / driver told us please spend 1 hour here. Don't come back before an hour, because every time he tells us spend an hour, we spend total of 15-20 minutes and we come back. So he's a bit upset. He's like, please spend an hour, please explore the Mushroom Hills. A quick trek then to get to the top, and this is the view. Because Cappadocia is all about these archaeological places and landscapes. So somebody who's not into it, I think you should not come to Cappadocia. So we asked him to drop us off to the main market because we just wanted to explore it by foot. It's not that big, but yeah, there are these few gift shops. There are some restaurant options here, and it's just a nice stroll to take. So we've now come to this restaurant in the main market, and that's a bit of the view from the restaurant. And yes, that brings us to the end of another evening here, and tomorrow is a big day for us. We actually had to move our flights because the hot air balloon wasn't happening, but finally it is. We're getting to witness this live, and we're going to be on it in literally a minute from now. Beware that if you're coming down in March, the weather is quite stormy, so the hot air balloon keeps getting cancelled. So try and keep your itinerary a bit flexible to accommodate for this thing. Because if you've not done the hot air balloon, you've really missed out on a lot. And this is finally taking off. And we're into the skies. And finally it's done. We've finished our hot air balloon ride. It's a once in a lifetime experience, so I think everyone should definitely try this. We were very lucky that the weather stayed good, the winds were in our favor, and our pilot was extremely skilled. His name is Gokhan and he is with Butterfly Balloons, and that's the operator that I recommend as well. Really fun. It was super smooth, and yes, please wear your gloves, wear winter socks, and ensure that you have a hoodie, because it can get pretty cold up 1000 meters. So you go max 1000 meters, and it's a 1 hour 10-minute ride to the end of this leg of Cappadocia, and lots more happening in Turkey. Catch up with you guys soon. Hello everyone, new day, new place. We finally got to Izmir last night. We flew from Kesari to Izmir on Pegasus, and from the airport we took bus number 202, which is part of their airport transfers. It's very cost effective. We just paid 20 Turkish lira, so I'd highly recommend this option. But for those of you who want to take a taxi to your hotels, just try and get an estimate through taxicalculator.com. Essentially in the waterfront area, which is like the Marine Drive or the Worli Sea Face. That's a bit of the water there, and we'll probably explore the city a bit later once the rain settles down. I think Izmir is a great option if you want to do Ephesus and Pamukkale, which are about 3 or 4 hour drives from this place. And yeah, let's step out and explore the city a bit. So the rains have stopped, and we're just taking a walk on the streets of Izmir. That to my left is the Swissotel Hotel, where the airport shuttle dropped us last night. एक बहुत important learning है that wherever you go, you please carry your HES code because it's mandatory. हम यहाँ McDonald's आए और यहाँ पे भी वही पूछ. So we've now come to Asansol, which means elevator, and this was gifted by a Jewish businessman as a public service, and it's operational even today. This is the view from the top, and there is also a cafe or a coffee shop here. Now we are at Marine Drive, and if you walk in this direction ahead, you come to the Konak Square. And a little further ahead is the waterfront area where we stay. So this is just the landscape of the city. It's a nice walk to take in the evening. Good morning everyone, it's 6:40 a.m. and we are at the Basmane railway station, which is the central railway station to get to Ephesus. So there's a train that leaves at 7:10 a.m. Right now it's 6:40 a.m. It's called the Basmane Denizli Express. There are only 3 trains that run in the day as per the chart that we'd seen. So you get in here early so that you can get to Ephesus in time and have like a full day to explore the place. It cost us only 22 lira for the train tickets, and another 10 lira to get to this place in a cab. So far it seems to be going all on plan. So as you can see the train behind me, we just got off that train. We've reached Selçuk, very comfortable. We left at 7:10 and we're here at 8:30. It's a Sunday morning, everything is really quiet and peaceful, and I can already get a glimpse of a bit of the ruins and a bit of that Roman Catholic architecture. Hey everyone, we finally got to Ephesus from the Selçuk station. We took a cab that costed us 25 lira. The guy was very honest. He went through the meter. He didn't overcharge us. And now we are in what is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it's got a lot of history to it. So what I'd recommend is that when you come here, you take the audio tour guide, which costs you about 70 lira. The tickets to this place is about 100 lira, so that should be about 170 lira, and that's a good way of sort of understanding the history of this place and also looking at the beautiful sights that are there around us. Ideally one can spend a good 3-4 hours here, obviously depending on the level of interest that you have in exploring each of these places, but I think anything lesser than that is a waste of coming all the way to this truly once in a lifetime kind of an opportunity. The best part of coming in March is that you avoid all the peak season crowd and you literally have the whole place to explore by yourself. Hey everyone, so after a 3-hour walk, we finally gotten to the Grand Theatre, and this may seem like a very familiar sight for those of you who've seen Dil Dhadakne Do. तो यहाँ पे ही फरहान अख्तर और प्रियंका चोपड़ा बैठ के बात कर रहे थे, and we are also here. Just the size of this place is huge. I mean, you can just see this is all the seating capacity, right? It's as good as any of the modern day stadiums. And there's a bit of restoration work happening around, but other than that it seems to be quite intact, considering this is as old as I think 5,000 years or even beyond that. So all in all, coming to Ephesus has been very fruitful. We've managed to see so many of the architecture, so many of these sculptures which we probably have read about in history, we may have studied about it, but it's so good to see that in person. So Ephesus is a thumbs up from me, and for those of you coming down to Turkey, should really plan it well. And trust me, you can do it all on your own. You don't need to go through a tour guide or maybe one of those package tours. It's fairly convenient to get here from Selçuk, which is the nearest station, and after that it's a good 3-4 hour walk which you can do it on your own. So I'm signing off from here, and I will see you guys in the next leg of Izmir. Good morning everyone, we are here at the Basmane roundabout waiting for our feeder bus to take us to the main bus station of Izmir. We are going to Denizli today with Pamukkale Travels, so that's the office of Pamukkale Travels behind me, and we're just outside the walk-in hotel, which is the pickup point for the feeder buses. It's a bit delayed, honestly. We got it at 8:26. It's almost 9, and the buses hasn't come, so we're just waiting for that. But Pamukkale Travels is a renowned travel agent here, and you can do a return trip in 88 lira. Hey everyone, so finally after almost 4-hour drive, we've got to the Denizli Autogari, which is the main bus station to get to Pamukkale. Now there are these feeder buses which cost you I think 5 or 10 lira and which can help you get to Pamukkale. So we're just going to go down and figure that out. I think it's bus number 76. But other than that, a really big, huge bus station. So we just need to go down an escalator to the mini buses that take us to Pamukkale. So from that Denizli auto गाड़ी हम लोग ने एक ये लिया, what do you say, like a share a cab or share a van, and it cost us like 11 lira for 2 people. But mind you, it's quite a packed thing. तो कोविड टाइम में थोड़ा डर लगता है, काफ़ी लोग थे उसमें. और अभी हम उसने literally 5 minutes from that place he's dropped us, so we're just walking to it. In fact, in the back see it, वो जो white चीज़ें दिख रही है, that's Pamukkale. So once we cross the road, we'll be entering into the north entrance of Pamukkale in Hierapolis. This is it. Nice cobblestone path to get you to that ticketing booth that you see in the background. And this almost looks like snow, but it's not snow. And there are these nice lagoons in between it. So just adds to the beauty of the place. By the way, it's quite a walk up. It's almost like a trek. And you're expected to remove your footwear, so please, yeah, you can see people there, that's the top, so please carry an extra bag to keep your footwear. But other than that, the weather's great, so it should be quite a good walk up. So this is not your everyday regular infinity pool. This is the coolest pool in the world. It's the Pamukkale Springs, and the weather is absolutely gorgeous. It's windy, it's mild cold, and what a view it is from this place. For a quick coffee break, now we are back to our stroll to explore the other side of this UNESCO World Heritage Site, which is Hierapolis. Not too many options in the cafeteria, especially for vegetarians or people who only consume chicken. Most of the sandwich options were in beef, but there were a few other knickknacks like maybe your Pringles and the Indomies and I think some sort of a croissant or chocolate croissant that you can pick up, but other than that there's not much. Now to explore Hierapolis, which is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site and it's covered in your ticket, and we're heading to the antique pool, which is where Cleopatra, the famous Cleopatra, would come for her swimming sessions. So let's see what that is all about. Great weather again, it's sunny, it's windy, and it's mild cold, so you've got a mix of everything today going for you. A lot of dogs and cats, so for that, when you come here, just be careful about that. So this is Cleopatra's pool. The tile of the pool gives this unique color, and you can also take a dip in it. It costs 100 lira per person. So for those of you who want to just feel like Cleopatra, well, why not? And we're further walking up to get to the Grand Theatre and some more of the ruins on either side of this walkway. What you see behind me in the background is the Grand Theatre. It is again a massive theatrical seating which we'll explore in a bit, but this also brings us to the end of this leg of our trip, and next I'll see you guys in Istanbul. Hello again everyone, and welcome to the last leg of this beautiful 10-day trip of Turkey during the winters and also during pandemic. Now we flew in from Izmir to Istanbul earlier in the afternoon, and then we took the airport shuttle, which is called as Havas, from the Sabiha Gökhan airport to Taksim Square. That costed us 24 lira per person. For those of you who want to take a cab, I think it costs about 120 or 130 lira, and there are plenty of options available outside the airport terminal. Usually the taxis here are in yellow color and reads out as taxi TAKSI. We're staying at the Grand Hyatt in Istanbul, and of the view from the room, that's the pool area, and that point there, the Point Hotel, is where we were dropped off by the airport shuttle, and then it was literally a 5-minute walk. It's still quite freezing outside. The temperature is about 6 or 7 degrees Celsius. The winds are pretty severe as well. So, for those of you who want to visit Turkey during the month of March, and specifically if you're coming down to Istanbul, please carry your layers, carry your thermals, carry your jackets and gloves. We've still not fully explored this part of town, but when I step out and when we step out, we'll probably get you guys some more bites from. Good morning, everyone. I am in one of the most iconic squares of Istanbul with the blue mosque or Sultan Ahmed Kami behind the Hagia Sophia in front of me. The Sultan Ahmed Kami or the Blue Mosque has certain visiting hours, so please be mindful of that. But the Hagia Sophia is open, so we're just heading to the other side of the square. The square in itself is beautiful. It's got such a strong historic presence to it. It feels great to be walking down the square. And this is the entrance to the magnificent Hagia Sophia. Women are expected to cover their hair, so I think there are scarves that could be borrowed, or if you're carrying like a hoodie or something of that sort, then you could wear it. And both men and women are expected to remove their footwear. There are these stands that we can see on either side, so that's where you could remove your footwear and keep. Wow, this is grand, and this is from the Byzantine Empire. So there was earlier a church, and then it was converted into a mosque, the Holy Grand Mosque in the Ottoman Empire. But each of these, the dome, the pillars, they are just magnificent. Look at these lamps, and I'm just going to get a little closer to it. Everything is so ornamental, and you can really gaze at things and spend a lot of time just appreciating the beauty of each of these places. And we're just now walking to one of the oldest Turkish sweet shops, which is pretty much outside the square, and it's called Hafiz Mustafa. When you are in Istanbul, you simply cannot miss Hafiz Mustafa, which is the oldest Turkish sweet shop, and it's right outside the Sultan Ahmed and Hagia Sophia Square, literally a 2-minute walk. We're here now. We've taken the traditional Turkish tea and profiterole, which is sort of a chocolate pudding. You cannot miss this one. So after all those calories, it's time to shed them. So we're walking now towards the Topkapi Palace. So that's the Sultan Ahmed Kami that we visited earlier. And the Topkapi Palace was the palace from the 12th century up until the 18th century, I think, of the Ottoman Empire. So the Sultan of the Ottoman Empire used to reside in this palace. So it has 4 courtyards. This is the courtyard 1, and we're just heading into the courtyard 2 through this main sort of gate. You can see the Turkish flag fluttering in the winds. Looks beautiful, the red flag in such a backdrop. This is courtyard 2, and this is courtyard number 3. By the way, photography and videography inside each of these premises is forbidden. You also have guards there who will remind you, but outside you can do a bit of it, and it's all just so iconic. A walk down history. Hey everyone, I'm at the Topkapi Palace, and this is one of the must-do things in Istanbul, which is a 5 or 10 minute walk from the Sultan Ahmed Kami, and a little bit of the glimpse. And I'm here at the fourth courtyard. There are 4 courtyards, and I'm at the final one. My experience in Turkey so far has been very good. People are very honest, they're hospitable. But for those of you coming down in March, the weather is quite cold. And you must have seen that in my previous videos as well, that I'm always in this blue jacket. Unfortunately, there's only one jacket that I carried. But for those of you coming down in March, ensure you carry the right kind of winter wear, maybe a couple of jackets as well if you don't want to repeat your winter wear. Carry your gloves, carry woolen socks, ensure you wear the right kind of footwear. So that's the view of the Marmara Sea from one of the courtyards, and with that we've come to the end of Topkapi Palace. We're back to the main entrance, and it's taken a good 3 hours to explore this place. We'll be now heading back to Taksim Square where we are staying, and take a taxi back. Hello again everyone, and today is our second last day in Istanbul. We just got done with our COVID tests. So the hotel had arranged for it, and they came and just collected the swab samples. It was a bit delayed. They were supposed to come in at 10, but they finally came at 11:30. But I think other than that, it was smooth. The report should come in by 6 in the evening. Fingers crossed. Hopefully everything stays negative. This is the only thing that you wish is negative. We're going to head out into the city again. We're going to explore Galata Tower and do a cruise ride on the Bosphorus Strait. So that's the Galata Tower, and we are on top of it. There is a queue to get to the top, and this is the view once you're on the 8th floor. Bit of the city, and then of course the Marmara Sea that separates both sides of Istanbul. And these bridges, couple of bridges, all of them are packed actually, and you'll have to walk down the stairs, but at every level there's something to see. Traffic, that's one of the peculiar sights in Istanbul. So this is the Grand Bazaar, which is popular for its spices, for its dry fruits, for the local perfumes, for textiles, and a lot of color in general, and a lot of people trying to draw your attention. But please negotiate wherever you buy stuff. And this is the Hamdi restaurant, which is very popular for its grills and its kebabs. These are those chicken kebabs in yogurt, both of them. So we just managed to get on board, literally the last people to get on board. There's this Bosphorus cruise that leaves every hour. We've made it to 3 PM 1. It costs 25 lira per person, and it takes you on the Marmara Sea up until the Bosphorus Strait, and then back, all of 90 minutes. And it's just great to see Istanbul through water, because the Marmara Sea has always been of strategic importance to Istanbul. It was a popular trade route back in the days, and it still is. And this is not the Bosphorus Strait yet, it's another bridge, but the one that you see now in the background, this one is the Bosphorus Strait. And a nice Turkish coffee to end the day with some baklava on the side. After a fabulous 10 days, this trip of Turkey comes to an end. We'll be flying back to Dubai in a few hours. But if you did enjoy watching all of it, please do like, comment and subscribe to Trips Don't Lie. And remember, if you're traveling during a pandemic, it is very important to sanitize your hands regularly. Please wear your masks and try and stay safe and away from crowded places.